ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
It is Tuesday, November 12th. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. We're going to have a busy show today. Our text line is open. It's 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We've got a recap of Marshall basketball coming up. We'll hear from head coach Cornelius Jackson, get his thoughts on the win after last night. That was an ugly game, and I thought we were going to talk a lot about that game and just how ugly it was. And it's the officials. It was nothing to do with the teams. I was expecting a really good game, and I think that if these two teams play with a different officiating crew, we might get a really good game still. But Marshall wins that game. Coach Jackson improves to now 2-1. So he gets his first win over a D1 opponent. So congratulations to him. Things are starting to look good for the Thundering Herd. But we're going to talk about that later. Also hear from Coach Huff a little bit later on as well. But we got to start with the big news of the day. High school football playoffs postponed until all of the litigation is dealt with. Statement released earlier from WVSSAC Executive Director David Price. In the statement, he said, "We understand the frustration for all the parties involved, and we want nothing more than to put the focus back on the student-athletes and their pursuits of a championship. However, we must abide by the decisions of the courts and their timeline." And so what that means is we're not going to have the start of the playoffs because there are so many injunctions going on. You can't just pick and choose. You can't go, well, we're going to honor this one. We're going to honor this one. Okay, we're going to use this rating system because this is what this court says. Well, no, we can't do that because this court says that. We are going to have to go to court, and a higher court, because there's going to have to be one ruling. And there will be winners. There will be losers. There will be people who are going to be happy. There are going to be people who are ticked off and mad. This thing has gotten out of control. And so to help us get a handle on it a little bit later on, Fred Persinger from Metronews is going to join us. Fred, of course, considered to be the voice of high school sports in the state of West Virginia. So Fred will break it all down for us. And you know Fred, he's never shy. He'll give you his opinion. That's what we love about him. So he's going to join us in just a few minutes. Also, we're going to get your text in this hour, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. So a lot about basketball and football. Hey, we got some good news today. Mike Green has been named a semifinalist for the Bednarik. And guess what? That goes to the best college defensive player of the year. I mean, the guy is right up there with the very best. He's a sack machine. He means so much to the Thundering Herd. And I have a vote, by the way. I'm just saying that out loud. I don't know if people realize this. I've got votes. I wonder who I'm voting for. You all know who I'm voting for. I'm not going to say it, but you know who I'm voting for, right? I get votes. So I've got my ballot right now actually up. I got to pick 3. I wonder who my second and third choices are going to be. I think we all know who my first choice is going to be. I might screenshot it. I don't know. I don't know what the, I might get in trouble for saying this, but yeah, this is my guy. Mike Green has been one of the top all year long, so I'm not going to be shy about it. I am voting for Mike Green. I have a vote. I'm voting for him, so I don't care to reveal that. So I hope he gets it. I hope a lot of people realize, he's gotten this far as a semifinalist. So there are people paying attention. And I threw him up in my nomination ballot as well. So I'm going to continue that trend, and I'm going to vote for him. I hope a lot of people vote for him as well. I know it's going to sound a little biased here, but yeah, I think he's the best. I think he's been fantastic, and we're going to hear from him later this week as we've got the 75 game to get ready for, and we've got a lot to get into. Over the week, there's going to be, I'm sure, a lot of emotions. There's going to be a lot of ceremonies, a lot of history, and we'll hear from Coach Huff in just a few minutes. You know that the helmet and the design of the uniform, Coach Red had some input on that. Red Dawson, of course, one of the survivors of the football team, and went on a recruiting trip instead of going on the plane. And so you leave everyone that you came to know and love on that plane trip, and you go to recruit, and they're gone. So he's been a big part of the fabric of Marshall University for as long as I can remember. It predates me by a few months. So he had some input, and Coach Huff is doing his part to honor everyone involved in this. And so he highlighted some of the things that they're doing today. So we'll hear from him a little bit later on. But we gotta figure out this high school football season situation. We got to figure this out. And then we got to figure out who let the officiating crew in the Cam Henderson Center. Who let those guys in? Absolutely insanity. Southern Indiana, 24-36 from the free throw line. Marshall was 30 of 50 from the free throw line. 86 free throws. Not even the record, but still, it was absurd. Southern Indiana had 32 fouls. Marshall had 26 fouls. It felt longer. It felt like it was double this. It was a horrible game to watch from a flow perspective. There was no flow to it. I think it was almost 2.5 hours for a basketball game at the Henderson Center. So the Herd did get the victory, 77-63. That is the most important thing. And so we'll hear from Coach Jackson in just a few minutes on that. But coming up next, we're going to try to sort this thing out with the high school football playoffs. We've got schools that got bumped because of the one lawsuit or the one injunction. And so then there's another one that's been filed because schools got bumped, and there are places where, well, wait a minute, that impacts us. So we gotta challenge this as well. Unfortunately, I don't see a quick fix to this. Fred's going to join us, Fred Persinger from West Virginia Metronews, when we continue on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union has been serving the Huntington community for 70 years and is proud to announce our newest location in Lavalette is now open. Wayne County residents, you now have access to a modern banking facility, a full range of services, advanced technology, expert financial advice, and even a smart coffee kiosk cafe. Learn more about Metro Community Federal Credit Union online at metrocommunityfcu.com or visit us today on 5th Street Road.
Equal housing lender, member NCUA.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Hey, it's Lex and Terry, K&B Pest Control, locally owned and operated in Huntington, West Virginia, serving the tri-state.
Man, these guys are great. They do residential and commercial, indoor, outdoor, free estimates. These guys are the best, I'm telling you.
This is when the critters come out. High customer ratings, satisfaction guaranteed, large fleet, crew, meaning same-day appointments, and quick service.
All you got to do is pick up your phone and call Patrick, the owner. Okay, that's what you got to do. Or Becca. They're standing by to take care of you guys. It's K&B Pest Control. Online, and give them a call, man. They got a great Facebook page. Go ahead and like it. They got a phone number. We'll give you that. Why not? It's free. 304-523-4281.
Or go to kmbpestcontrol.com. They will tell you what everything looks like, what you're looking for, if you're getting a pest problem, and get on top of it. They're the best. Make sure you call Patrick once again, who is very passionate about his pest control, or Becca. K&B Pest Control. They'll kill for your business.
Trust the guys with over 40 years of experience at K&B Pest Control.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Giovanni's has great Italian dishes. Spaghetti with meat sauce, lasagna, ravioli, manicotti, all dinners served with hot garlic bread or Italian rolls. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, if you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast. So, for any kind of office.
I'm really going places in my office.
Count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to our Tuesday edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm always looking for an excuse to welcome my next guest to the program. He is regarded by many as the voice of high school sports in West Virginia. He's also one of the most humble individuals I know. He's Fred Persinger from Metronews, and he joins us now on the program. And Fred, what are we doing on Friday night? I mean, do we have a show? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Of course we have a show.
Okay,
man.
making sure.
It is game night is a 14-week-a-year program, and this will be week number 12. I hate to say it, but there may be a week 15 that I hadn't planned on, but that's the way it goes, you know.
We're here for it. We'll do it. We'll do week 15. We'll take it.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, take it all the way through. I just hope we get started next week, and I think we will. And I think they did the only thing they could possibly do, of course, talking about high school football and delaying the first round of the playoffs. And they don't say until next week. They just say they're delayed until the litigation is satisfied. Which to me means it's all going to be done. It's going to go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court's going to vote in the direction they voted the last 5 times the SSAC has had to present to them. And that's the way the SSAC, and we'll get back to it, and everything we find, I hope, next weekend.
Fred Persinger, my guest from Metronews. High school football delayed in the state of West Virginia. So, yeah, you go off the air Friday night. We're not really sure what's going to happen. And then Saturday, we find out in Wood County, the first domino starts to fall, and it just goes from there. How did we get to this point? They're reasonable, intelligent human beings that are running high school sports across this state. How did we get to this point when this maybe should have been addressed a few months ago?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I thought, and I've talked with several personnel, not only from the SSAC's office, but other folks around the state, and of the timing of the Board of Review's 23 teams that they decided shouldn't be in the class they were in. It was just horrendous. Now, had that timing came down, honestly, this past summer, then things could have been handled much, much differently. But to do it the week that the season starts, and I still thought those teams that had thoughts about filing an injunction had plenty of time to do it. I don't think they had to wait until the week of the playoffs. I blame they'll say, well, the boards of education. No. It was the teams and those counties that the Board of Education had to file on their behalf. And that's what kind of bothered me. Why did you wait till then? Because had you done that the second week of the season and said, hey, this is not right, we need to look at this ratings thing, they would have had time to work it out. They would have done something. and the playoffs will be going on this weekend. But everyone waited, and why they waited, I don't know. I really don't know. But to me, and I'll say this to anyone that asks me, I'm not shy. You know that. It looks like sour grapes to me. It looks like, you mean I'm in the same bracket as this team, and I want to be in the other bracket of the other team, and da-da-da-da-da. Well, I don't know what that's telling your kids other than the fact that, I don't think you guys can beat this team. I'm going to file an injunction, and we'll go see if we can't beat this other team. What are we doing?
Yeah, and the dominoes keep falling because you filed the injunction, and it was also Huntington High also went to the Cabell County Board of Education. So again, there are lots of parties across the state. It's not just one or two places. So there are a lot of people that are well, wait a minute, that impacts me, so I'm going to have an injunction filed. And now we change the system. There are teams left out, and then so those schools and those teams try to fight back. What's the happy solution in your mind when it's all said and done? What do you want to see happen? Can you pinpoint that?
Well, I think happy solution, forget it. It's not going to be a happy solution. There's going to be a solution. And I personally, I don't care. You go with the rating system that they drew up the brackets this past late Saturday night, and we got Sunday in Parkersburg, or you go with the brackets that would have been in play had no injunction ever been filed. I don't care which one they go with. Pick one, let's go. Let's play football because of a lot of reasons. Now, I know, and you brought up Huntington High, and one of my better friends in the state is head coach Billy Seals, and he and I had talked several times. And for Huntington High, dropping them down into the classification, dropping them down 2 spots, they're number 2 right now, and I think they're going to end up at number 4, number 3, number 4. I forget. I'll have to look. But anyway, it's going to probably cost them 2 trips to the Eastern Panhandle. That's expensive. I get it. That's expensive. And who is the expense going to be on? Huntington High. They're not going to get any help from the state. They're not going to get any help from anyone else. It's going to be on them. And I get that. That's not fair. I agree 1,000%. So that's what I'm saying. There's not going to be a happy solution. There's going to be a solution, and it's going to be quite simply the the West Virginia State Supreme Court is going to say, look, the SSAC is a private entity. Circuit judges stay out of their business because they've done it 5 other times, but they still keep getting involved. Stay out of their business. The SSAC can run their playoffs. See, a lot of people don't understand, Paul, that the SSAC is a voluntary organization. You do not have to belong to the SSAC in order to play a football schedule in the state of West Virginia. You cannot go into the playoffs and play for a state championship because those championships belong to the SSAC. So you have to be a member school in order to play for the championship. Simple enough. But you don't have to be a member of the SSAC. You can voluntarily say, I don't want to be a member. Fine. You still have a schedule if you can get teams to play you. So that's where that's going to be. It's going to be up to the SSAC. I don't know if it's back onto the hands of the Board of Appeals or if it's on the hands of the SSAC to decide which set of ratings they're going to go with. They're going to go with one particular set. My humble opinion, I think it will be the set of ratings that they played under all year long. That's what I think, which will drop Huntington out of that second spot, okay? But it will also mean that Wayne, the Pioneers, and they're having a good year under veteran coach Tommy Harmon. In this set of ratings that were released this past weekend, they were seeded number 8 and a home team with a home game. Under this other set of ratings that I think will go into play, they're going to be on the road as a 10 seed, and they'll have to go to Scott. Instead of playing Bluefield at home, they're going to have to go to Scott to play. I think that's what's going to happen. But, again, that'll be decided hopefully within the next couple of days, and all the teams are going to know where they're going, and there will not be any more injunctions. Once the state Supreme Court decides, that's it. It's done. Now we can go play football.
Fred Persinger is with us, the voice of high school in the state of West Virginia from Metronews. And so, I was looking at some of these injunctions, and some of them were I don't want to say laughable, but we're talking about play-in games.
Oh, come on, yeah. I saw that one. I heard that was going to come down from Wyoming County, and then Mason County beat, I think, everyone to the punch. And then Wood County joined in, and everybody said, oh, that's a great idea. No, that's not a great idea. Come on, people. You don't know who you are affecting. How about those other teams that are above those 8 teams that they're talking about, the 4 that got in or the 4 that should have been in? That's the only ones they're talking about a play-in game. Well, everybody's got a right to say, well, I should be in a play-in game too. You know, that's not going to happen. That was never going to happen. I don't know what that judge or those judges were thinking, but again, anytime, and you know this as well as I do, I guess I'm just getting old and I don't care what I say. But what happens anytime you go to a judge, a circuit court judge, whoever that is elected, an elected official, they're going to side with the people that they have to get elected by. Simple enough. Makes sense. I get it. That's the way politics works. Supreme Court, it's an appointed position. It's not an elected official. So, again, that's why it'll be different. SSAC will win in the Supreme Court. We will have football, and I'm almost confident enough to say, yes, we will be playing next weekend. We're just not playing this weekend, and that's sad. That's really, really not good for the kids that have worked so hard this entire year. And I keep going back to the volleyball situation and how sad that is because, again, the courts got involved in it. You know, the kids just want to play. They don't care who they play. They don't care when they play. They don't care where they play. They want to play. But now the Class Single A volleyball bracket, it's going to be contested probably, and I don't know this for certain, but probably at a high school gymnasium somewhere well after this week is over with, because now the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center is going to be booked up. You can't get in there. What do? You take them to a gym, and there goes that state championship feel. And you know about it. You've been around them. Man, when you go to the state championships for a state tournament, wow, that's fun. That's exciting. All the other teams are there, and it's a good time. And those young ladies that worked hard in Class Single A volleyball are going to be deprived of that. And no doing of the SSAC. SSAC had nothing to do with this. People learned that. They're just a group of people they have to enforce the rules that are given to them. They don't make up any of the rules. They don't decide any of that. They're just the ones that take all the brunt, all the heat, all the hate, and everything that's being bestowed upon them now on social media.
Fred Persinger, my guest, voice of high school sports West Virginia. He joins us from Metronews, and I can agree with that tournament feel. One of my favorite memories still is going to see the Huntington Highlanders. I'm sorry, I got to get that deprogrammed. They were the Pony Express back then, 1988. So I've had the program myself. See, they're still the Pony Express to me. But yeah, state tournament. I mean, we got to take off school. They bust us up. We get to cheer. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's exciting, and that was fun. And so that's an experience that you can't get back if you take it away. No. And for a lot of those kids, they're not going to get that experience back.
No, you're exactly right. And, I mean, again, that's not just an experience that is enjoyed by the basketball team or the football team. The entire school enjoys that. Big pep rallies, as you said, going to the state tournament game. You know, man, I can remember the Charleston Civic Center is what they used to call it, when O.J. Mayo and Patrick Patterson and that group was there. That place was hopping. It was packed. It was fun. Don't take that away from the kids. Come on, adults, you're smarter than that.
My guess is Fred Persinger. I'm curious what you think needs to happen next as far as these classifications. Are we going to get a resolution eventually? Or are they going to have to rework this? I don't want to be crass, but I think 4 classifications is wrong. But no, I mean, what do I know?
It's not being crass. That's 100% correct. I've said it from the word go. I said it from when they put it in basketball, and now it's going to be in baseball, and it's in football. Who are we kidding? We have right now 110 schools that play high school football in the state of West Virginia. Had 112. We had to lose 2 just because they didn't have enough students to fill the football team after about 3 games into it. Kids got hurt, and they had to forgo the rest of the season. So 110 teams. 64 of them make the playoffs. That's almost 60%. What? What are you're not having to play for anything. Show up. Put your uniform on. Your chances are you're going to make the playoffs. And if you're in Quad A, you're definitely going to make the playoffs because there's only 16 teams. My thought process is quite simply this. You don't need 4 classes in West Virginia high school athletics, period. Not in basketball, not in anything. And they're saying, well, you're seeing teams at the state tournament in basketball that were never there before. Well, wonder why they were never there before. Because when they get there in the first round, they get beat by 80 points. Is that the last memory you want of your high school basketball career? Oh, yeah, we made a state tournament. What's the score? Well, we got beat by 80. Huh? What were you doing there exactly? I think there's some things in life you still have to earn. I really do. I'm not one of these folks that think you ought to set the bar so low so everyone can step over it. What? No, I'm old school. Get off my lawn guy, I'm still saying, let's set the bar a little higher, folks, so we can have something to work for. And then when we reach it, we're going to be proud that we're there, not because it was handed to me. But if you want to just get back you have to take it away from football. Football's a different sport altogether, totally different. Number one, you don't have sectional tournaments or regional tournaments to get you into the state tournament. You don't. You just go into the playoffs, and there you are, and you get into the playoffs by a point system that no one can seemingly agree on how to do it. I thought I had a good suggestion, but everybody just says, oh, yeah, that's a great suggestion, but nobody ever listens to it. I'm saying get rid of this socioeconomic thing, get rid of this in close to a county seat or whatever they're talking about, and go back to total enrollment. However, in football only, you have 3 classes, and the enrollment is based only on the number of boys in the school, not by the number of kids that it really, really bothered me, Paul, when I heard that one of the things they're thinking about in this next round that's going to be settled here before, I would think sometime during winter for next year, is if you have a child that gets a free lunch, they're worth a half a student. What?
That makes no sense.
Makes zero sense. And what are you saying to the kid? Oh, you get a free lunch, so you're only half a student. Huh? That is the most. I don't know who thought of that, but boy, I don't know what they do for a living, but it shouldn't be whatever that is. Trust me. Count the boys. They're the only ones that play football. If you've got a girl that wants to come out and kick from the soccer team, that's fine. Let her. That's not hurting your numbers any. But then if you just count the boys, you're going to see something different, and all of a sudden, either then you're not happy. Well, fine. The transfer rule's in effect in West Virginia high school. Go transfer. Be happy. There's a lot of things wrong.
Fred Persinger, my guest.
Last time you'll ever invite me, I know that.
No, absolutely wrong. No, I will invite you every week if I could. But you're extremely busy man, and the fact that as I am starting to get older, I see what my future looks like, and I kind of like it, Fred, because I want to. I feel like I'm get off my lawn guy. No, you got me beat. You got me beat.
Say, I do. But I'm old enough that I can do that, and I try and be, honestly, as nice a gentleman as I can be, and I think I am for the most part. But sometimes things that are really, really not smart, it gets under my skin, and I just think, my goodness, what are we doing? We're not thinking about the kids. We're thinking about the adults. The adults in the room need to take a seat, and they can learn a lot from the kids, But I don't know, the adults have to get involved in everything we do. And I was talking with a legislator today, and he said, well, maybe we can. I said, no, stop right there. Legislature doesn't need to do anything. You already stuck your nose where you shouldn't have stuck your nose in the first place with the doggone transfer rule. Stay out of it. You don't need to be involved in this. High schools were running fine before adults got smart or dumb, whichever way you want to look at it. And the legislature stays out of it. And let's just we used to have AAA, AA, single A. You know what they used to complain about? Private schools. That's what they complained about then. Well, but they complained about it, but they didn't go to court or anything. They just complained, and you went on and played. Not so anymore. It's too easy. We made it way, way too easy. And to me, it's the kids that suffer. This doesn't affect Fred Persinger. I do game night on Friday nights. I will do game night this Friday night. I'm not going to have scores to talk about, but boy, I got a lot to talk about.
Yes, you
Trust
do.
me.
Yes, you do.
I got a lot to talk about. And so it doesn't affect me, but I see it affecting the kids. Because something else they're not thinking about, Paul, and I know you've thought about this, how many schools in the state of West Virginia that their football team is probably 65% made up of basketball players. Basketball in West Virginia practice for boys starts Monday. Now, you're going to make that kid decide, or you're going to make that kid go to both football practice and basketball practice, and hopefully they're not being held at the same time.
And
not fair.
I understand that the adults in this situation think they're doing it for the kids, but I really believe that for the most part, a lot of people who meddle, they're living vicariously through these schools or these kids, and their image of self-worth is determined by this. And I think it's great when these kids, achieve something. Let's give them something to achieve instead of the whole. I'll use Quad A as the example. Everybody gets in the playoffs. To your point, you didn't achieve anything. I'm okay when I lose. Because if I win, if I win, I'm excited because I achieved something, and if I lose, I'm okay with that because it wasn't handed to me. And
That's
I'm okay.
Right. I'm going to learn
that.
from that. I can learn from that. And again, I think the part about living vicariously through your son or daughter, that's where this transfer rule is really coming in strong. I'm not so sure it's the kids themselves that are definitely saying, I got to transfer, or it's dad or sometimes mom saying, you know what, you're a really, really big fish in this little tiny pool. I bet you could be a big fish in a big pool. And then sometimes they're not, and it's the kids that suffer. I don't understand it. I know my wife had two boys, and they're both grown men now and doing quite well for themselves, but I can't imagine what I would have told either one of my sons if they'd come to me and said, we don't want to go to Woodrow Wilson High School in Beckley anymore. We want to go somewhere else because we can be better in basketball at this other school. What? If they said that to me, they'd better be running away when they said it. I can tell you that. Because they weren't transferring. I promise you that.
Fred Persinger,
that's just the way I believe.
I love you, man. I love you every time you come on. I don't care to say it out loud. Every day I talk to you, I feel better about life. Every day.
Hey, you were the one that put me on with Big John and Billy this morning.
I apologize for that.
You owe me, man.
I do owe you.
That was fun.
I do owe you, and whatever that price may be, I will pay it.
That was fun. I enjoyed that conversation, but and I didn't know. We just found out. I found out about 5 till 4 this afternoon when I got the email from the SSAC that they weren't playing at all this weekend. That was and that's what I told Billy and Big John this morning, that if I was a betting man, and I'm not, but if I were, I would bet you that we're not playing this weekend because of just some of the things I'd heard. And sure enough, we're not playing. And like I say, hopefully smarter heads will prevail and we can get this all finished up and we can get back to playing football, and the kids can enjoy the sport that they've been working hard since the first part of August, really all year long in football. Now you work. We do that in all sports. It's not a 3-month ordeal anymore. You work all year long, lifting weights or whatever the case may be for football, and let's get them back and let them start playing again. And the kids that are not in the playoff, I really believe, Paul, they know they didn't deserve it. They had a bad year. That's going to happen. You're going to have bad years. My goodness, you have bad days in life every time you turn around, but that's part of growing. And you'll get better at football if you practice harder. Simple enough. And that's my philosophy. I don't want anything handed to me. If I want something, I'm going to work and go get it. And if I don't achieve it, that means, number one, I did not work hard enough to get it, or it was just out of my reach, and that's okay too. I can live with that, knowing I gave 100%. Simple.
Fred Persinger is my guest. The show is Game Night coming up Friday night, 9:30. We'll go on the air at 9:30.
Right. I'll be there.
Yeah, we actually get to go on at 9:30 because the Highlanders don't actually accommodate you most nights.
They're not playing? Come on. Oh, I know. Trust me, that happens a lot. In fact, I'm Travis Jones and myself, we're hosting Sportsline Friday night. So I'll be on from 6 till 7. and then I'll stay in the studio, and I don't know what I'll do because usually I get scores, but there are no scores to get. But I'll have all my guests lined up, and we'll just do it that way. And then, Sunday night we got the road to the Super Six for those that carry, or the road to the West Virginia High School Football Playoffs that carry Sunday Night Sports Line. That'll be part of that show. So, and then hopefully by next week things are back to some semblance of normalcy, and we're back to playing football and game night, and we'll probably have to add another week or another show for game night because we're going to have another week before the playoffs go. I just hope they get it done before it extends any further. We're already now going to be 2 weeks out from Christmas when we finish this with this week's delay. You don't want to be 1 week out. Man, sometimes the weather in Charleston doesn't agree with you in late December,
Stay warm, man.
I know. Keep on top, too.
Yeah, stay warm. That's going to be the big one for you there. And I appreciate you. We need to do this more often because, you say things that some people are afraid to sometimes, and that's why I love you for it.
Well, maybe I don't know. I started to say maybe I should be afraid. No, I don't ever want to be afraid to tell you what I feel. Now, hey, if there are, your show, if there are, let's say, 1 million people listening, and 500,000 of them or 600,000 of them disagree with me, that's okay. That's fine. But at least you know that what I'm telling you is how I feel. Period. That's how I feel. And for folks that want me to come on their shows or something, maybe they figure I got something to offer, and that's why they ask. And I'm more than happy to help when I can. Again, I think we can be better. I really, really do. I think we just have to sometimes stop and say, wait a minute, what are we doing? And then go from there. Live with yourself. I'm glad I didn't file an injunction, I can tell you that.
Fred Persinger, the voice of high school sports in West Virginia, Friday night, 9:30 right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'll be listening. I can't wait to hear it, that's for sure.
Well, I appreciate that. That's one, okay? It'll be three because myself and Jacqueline will have our headsets on, so there'll be three of us listening. We got it.
Yeah, right now, we got two, you and me, so I'm living good right now.
Yeah, right. Sportscaster of the Year. Remember that. I keep telling you that.
Yes,
okay?
I know.
My honor to be with you. Okay.
No. Trust me. I'll tell you what.
I'm serious about it. We're good friends. I believe, and I mean that sincerely.
Don't make me all emotional over here now, okay? Stop that. Don't.
Who knows? Jason Toy might be listening, man. He's getting ready for Ohio University Bobcats, and I still think it was Northern Illinois where he texted me from this morning. I believe it was. That sounds right because they wouldn't play Southern Illinois, would they? They play Northern Illinois.
Yeah, no, I think it's Northern. I think they're Northern, they're in. Yeah, and then they go to Memphis. So
yeah, there you go, Memphis.
So exactly. that guy's not here. He's shirking his responsibilities right now.
Hey, I worked with him before, man. He'll do that if you gave him a chance.
Yeah,
got to crack the whip, Paul. Come on, buddy.
All right. He's a diva anyway. No, he does a great job. He does a great job, but he is a diva.
Wonderful young man, though.
Good talking to you. Thanks for everything, the pep talk included. And we'll be listening on Friday night, and look forward to however this resolves and however you handle it.
All right, brother. Hey, anytime you want to talk, you call me, okay?
Definitely. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
All right, buddy.
That is Fred Persinger, the voice of high school sports in the state of West Virginia. When we come back, we'll hear from Cornelius Jackson. Marshall with the win last night at home. It was an ugly win, but we'll take it. More coming up on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Get everything you need for your next project at Menards. No matter your style, Shaw has a vinyl plank flooring option for you. It's durable, easy to install, and even easier to maintain. Plus, it's waterproof, making it perfect for any room in your home. Save big money on Shaw vinyl plank flooring. And check out the weekly flyer for all of our great deals happening this week on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards. Now is the time to add on a new bathroom or remodel your old one with the latest up-to-date bathroom fixtures from Mutual Wholesalers, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Come in today to Mutual Wholesalers' beautiful showroom and see how your new bathroom will look. Check out Acre by Max. Have a new bathroom this year. Mutual Wholesalers, locally owned and operated, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Call 304-525-9118.
Hey, Tri-State, there is a place to shop at. The Huntington's Peddlers Mall is now open in the historic Central City District in Huntington. Over 200 vendors specializing in vintage antiques, home decor, furniture, collectibles, new mattresses, and everything in between. Peddlers Mall, located 800 14th Street West in Huntington. It's the place to go. Open 7 days a week. Visit anytime. Check out the website, peddlersmall.com, for more information. It's the Tri-State place to shop, Huntington's Peddlers Mall.
You've cut back on everything and you're still coming up short at the end of the month. Give your local State Farm agent a call for a free discount double check. They'll show you how something as simple as combining car and home policies can save you hundreds of dollars a year. Being there to help keep more of your money is why your local State Farm agent is here. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
In Huntington, John Garden, 304-525-1116. And in Barbersville, Marcia Slater, 304-736-6100.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. It's that time of year again, football season. Frank's has you covered from Marshall, WVU, the rest of college football to the NFL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, if you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast. So, for any kind of office,
I'm really going places in my office.
count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Our Kindred Communications family of stations reminds you of the need for blood donations to the Red Cross. Blood is always needed. It may save your life or the life of a loved one. This reminder is brought to you in part by
Ohio Valley Bank, dedicated to giving you the financial answers you deserve. Member FDIC. Carmichael Sales, carrying a great selection of used tractors, hay, and tillage equipment. 798 Pinecrest Drive, Jackson Pike. Secure Construction Company in Huntington. Secure Construction is home improvement in secure hands. SecureConstruction.com.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen Bell, and I invited you here to my hotel room to talk about your cheeks. Your big, beautiful cheeks. Get your mind out of the gutter. I'm talking about swabbing them. Did you guys know that each year 20,000 Americans with blood cancer are searching for their life-saving marrow match? Can you even believe that? I mean, people need marrow, you guys, and we have it. So here's how we can help. It's really, really simple. All you have to do is swab your cheek, this cheek. Then go to Gift of Life Marrow Registry. It's so easy, anyone can do it. And in case you're wondering, if you're a match, donating, it's a lot easier than you think. So wherever you are, go ahead and swab that cheek. Go to giftoflife.org and get a free kit sent to your home, or find a donor drive in your area so that you can swab a cheek and save a life. It's only a minute of your time, but it can give someone else the rest of their life.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to our Tuesday edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line this hour is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We also open the phone lines up at 877-420-TALK, 877-420-8255. Let's go to the phones. Mark's checking in from Barbersville. He is on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Mark, you had a comment about what Fred Persinger had to say in this whole rating system?
I do. Thank you, Paul. And I understand all levels, single A, double A, triple A, and this 4A. And I don't really I was always brought up under the 3A. I don't think we have big enough schools to be 4A anyway. I'm in line with that theory. However, when they changed this thing, and your last commentator who I love listening to, made a comment that he wished that they would have resolved this at the beginning of the year. And I don't think at the beginning of the year people really realized the impact that this rating system was going to do, because I gave the illustration of Cabell Midland, who finished at 5-5, who finished rated at a higher status, not a good status, like 11th or 12th, when a team like Musselman, who won 2 or 3 games all year, finished lower, which was to their advantage. You want to be number one, and Musselman was the lower status team, and Midland goes up and beats them by 20 at Musselman, but yet Musselman's ranked higher because they get beat by a 4A school by 20 points, and Midland beats a Capital or Riverside by 30 points, and they get less points. And this is because the schedule was already done. It would be different if they would have known at the beginning of the year, hey, well, if you play one of these 3A schools, you should better play a 4A school and get beat because you'll get more points, which doesn't make any sense. So I'm hoping that they'll get a resolve to this quickly and perhaps go back to even re-rating whether we justifiably need a 4A school anywhere. We know that Martinsburg for years and years, I don't care what anybody says, if you go and watch them play up there at Wheeling, and now you'll be able to watch them play perhaps in Charleston, they've got kids that are D1 players that you'll see them and you'll think, my gosh, they're sophomores. I can't wait to see them next year. Or next year, you know what? Those kids aren't even there. They've gone to another school, and Martinsburg's got other D1 players that look just like them. How do they do that? Well, they recruit. And they recruited for years, and now everybody's all up in arms because these local schools are getting kids from Hurricane and South Charleston and Winfield and places like that. It's been going on forever at Martinsburg. Nobody said anything. It wasn't unfair. If you finish second to Martinsburg in the championship, you won the championship. Because Martinsburg, you can't beat a team that's got 10 or 15 potential D1 players on them. So without Martinsburg, there's no exception that they need to redo this 4A system. So that's my argument, and you may not like it, but I'm kind of like that old guy, get off my lawn, I'm going to say it anyway.
Anytime, man. I appreciate it. We always appreciate get off my lawn comments. I'm here for that.
Thank you, buddy.
Appreciate you, sir. Thanks for checking in. We're going to take a quick time out. We'll come back. We will we'll hear possibly from Coach Jackson, and we'll get your text in 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kitty Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Giovanni's Pizza. Fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Here's another Kindred Community Chatter brought to you in part by TikTok Tire, 3rd Avenue across from the Jones C. Edwards Stadium. The Marshall University Volunteers in Therapy Pro Bono Clinic, located on the Marshall campus, provide free physical therapy to those that don't have insurance or have exhausted their PT benefits. All sessions are provided by doctoral students with supervision by a licensed physical therapist. They're open 2 afternoons a week. Phone 304-696-2399 to set up an appointment.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Hey, Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. It's that time of year again, football season. Frank's has you covered from Marshall, WVU, the rest of college football to the NFL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
It's our final segment for today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I did want to get into the Herd win last night, but I think we touched on it enough last night. We just know this. That was an ugly game. I think we'll see a more free-flowing, thundering Herd. I liked what I saw from the Herd, especially that first when we actually had some flow in that game. So we'll break it all down this week. We're also going to get you closer to kickoff. Marshall at home for the final time in the regular season. Now, might be an outside chance of a conference championship game being played in Huntington. There is an outside chance, but Marshall's got to win out, and some things are going to have to happen. We're also going to need to see Georgia Southern lose one more time. And again, it all comes down to first, Marshall's got to win out. And Marshall's been able to finish really strong in November. We'll hopefully see more of that. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back with you tomorrow. Until then, have a great night, everyone.
Broadcasting from the Dave & Buster's studios. Eat, drink, play, and watch at Dave & Buster's in the Huntington Mall. ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. WRBC, W231BS Huntington.